Let's take a look at the Spinnaker Wreck. Now, before I get into the dimensions and price and features and everything, I want to talk about something I think is really cool. And you notice instantly with this watch that it has a lot of character or patina, if you will, that a lot of us use in the watch world as lingo. But it's interesting to see this watch get released by Spinnaker. I think they're bold enough and daring enough to do it. But no lie, I've had many conversations with people that mod Seiko SKX in general. And a few of us have had the conversation where we were actually talking about doing something similar to this with an SKX, basically beat it up. I'm pretty convinced I wouldn't have been able to do it to this level, if that makes sense. I mean, like, you think you would just be able to beat up the watch and recreate something, but this one, I think they really captured the look of what a watch would look like if it had been beat up. I mean, it still maintains all of, the fact that it's a new watch, but it has the appearance of a really worn, a heavily worn watch. So it's kind of cool, I think. Anyway, I know a lot of people are going to probably think it's silly, but it's kind of cool in a world full of brand new watches to have one instead of faux patina and stuff like that on the loom and the hands and everything. They did it on the case and on the bezel insert and on the bezel and everything. So I think it's pretty cool. So, all right, now that we're done with that topic, let's talk about the size. Let's talk about the size. So overall, you're looking at a 44 millimeter case, although this case shape and the thinness of it and the roundness of it, it does not feel and wear like a 44 millimeter case. It is a 50 millimeter lug to lug. Now, I don't care, other than if you're just going to have straight out lugs, it's going to feel worse, but a nice taper to the lugs like this, a 50 mil is still a 50 mil, but on a strap, obviously you're not really extending the lug width at all, so 50 is fine. It's in decent proportions when you're talking 44 and 50. 22 millimeter lug width. Now, on their website, they say 14 millimeter thick. I measured it at 13.3, so it's much thinner than what they claim. I think I seen it on a Kickstarter or something. I can't remember. They had claimed 14 mil thick, but I got 13.3. And that is a mineral crystal. That is not a sapphire crystal. But the price point on this guy, if you go direct to Spinnaker, and I'll put a link in the description, they have them listed for $250. They have a few different colorways. I actually didn't see this one on there. They have some other different colored cases and hands and everything like that. So this is the SP5065-01. So each one's going to have its own model number, and then there's going to have a different look. So it's interesting if you want to go click on the link and check it out. But it does house the Seiko NH35 movement. So, and you can see on the display case back there, you can see that guy. You can see it ticking away in there like a good Seiko should. You do have a screw down crown. The bezel pop and screw down function and everything is what you would expect. You have the hack and hand wind. I just hacked it. So in here you can wind, and then of course you can change the date. Pretty standard affair. The screw in action of the threaded tube is perfect. There's no, you don't have to backspin it to line up the threads. It kind of just goes right in. The water resist on this is 100 meters, so 330 feet or whatever. You have 120 click bezel, very audible. Nice tension on it. And it lines up pretty good. It's actually, this one's off a little bit. So I'll just chalk that up to its overall design. You can see it's a little off. So, but this, the whole tarnishing of the watch and everything, it kind of plays with it fine. So the dial on this particular one, I don't know if they're all like this, but even the dial, instead of having all the crazy faux loom and everything like that, check out that dial. It's almost like it was, scratch. Well, it probably was all scratched up. This had to have been done. I don't know. I'm assuming it's done manually real quick by somebody. Might be kind of a fun job, right? can't say, oops, I screwed that one up. Like, that's the whole point, right? So this one might be kind of fun to actually build and assemble, I would think. I mean, I think the way they did the case is like perfect, because it's still smooth, like almost like it was. It doesn't feel like anything was intentionally done, if that makes sense, because it's worn smooth. Everything is done. I think if you're going to patina a watch like this, I think they nailed it. So if anybody in the future is looking at doing it, this would be a prime example of, I think, how it would look kind of cool, like a rat rod style watch. So I'm going to give you a wrist shot. And I like that they paired it with the leather, honestly, because it's not a dive watch. It's a 100-meter dive style watch. So you can see on my 7.25-inch wrist, it wears perfect. I really like this leather. I'm glad they went with this style of leather. I don't know what that's called exactly, but as you wear it, you know, it's gonna start to have all that look that's gonna also tie in with the watch. You're gonna get all that cracking on the leather strap and everything. So, and it's super nice and pliable. This is actually, I'm sure it's a semi base grade leather, but it's super comfortable and it's nice. Matching buckle. Don't forget the little details like that, you know. So overall, I think it's a really cool watch. The loom on it is not amazing. I could not find information on the loom. I'll give you a loom shot here, though. It almost looks like maybe C1 on the indices and everything, and maybe just a stronger application of C1 on the hour and minute hand. I could be wrong. But the hour and minute hand is definitely brighter, and I suspect that we'll have some fade fairly quick. So, but overall, I think it's a fun watch at $250. I'm not sure what they sold for on Mass Drop, but here it is next to a turtle, just for size comparison. You can see if you're wearing a turtle, you could easily wear one of these. Or anyway, kind of a fun watch, guys. Big thanks to Spinnaker for sending this over. They actually did give this to the channel, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm not a big fan of doing like giveaways and stuff like that, so I typically just randomly will do it. So, but there is that. I just wanted to add that detail into the video, that this was actually given to the channel. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and a big thanks to Spinnaker for sending over this interesting patinaed watch. I think this is the next level of patina. Instead of just doing faux loom, this actually makes sense to me. It's kind of cool, like a rat rod style watch. I like it. See you guys in the next vid.